Hello, this is Chan Abraham from Daybreak Ministries. Today I'd like to share with you some thoughts about an extraordinary word, help. I don't mean help necessarily in the sense of help, but it could be. When we think of the word help, what comes to mind? Well, we think about situations where a person needs assistance. They need someone to serve them in some way or the other. An older person needs help across the road and so on. There are just so many applications. I think it's a wonderful word, and it is something that has been very much part of my life for as long as I can remember. And when I set up the Luminus organization to buy about 7,500 homes from the local authority, one of my clear objectives was to help people in all of their situations, to help them to have a great home, to help them to have more than a roof over their heads, but to help them to have a wonderful neighborhood, a community where they could feel safe, where their children could thrive, a good house, certainly, or a flat, an apartment where children could study and find their educational aspirations being met, a place of peace where you could come home after a day's work. I also wanted to help people who come to work to feel inspired, to feel that being at work is more than just earning a crust. It's about being in a place where you enjoy what you're doing, where it's not a Monday to Friday enduring, but really of enjoying being at work. Helping people is a very important part of life. It's important for the human psyche. Being there for others, being there to assist and to serve is really very, very important. Now, we live in a world where the emphasis seems very much about doing as much as you can for yourself, and then if you've got anything left over, help someone else. The Bible message, the message of the Christian gospel, is certainly not that. One of the things that Jesus taught us is that it is more blessed. You're a happier person if you give than if you receive. And neuroscience, the science of the brain, increasingly shows us that bits of our brain light up. In other words, there's activity registering in the brain when we help someone. It produces happiness inside of ourselves. That's marvelous, isn't it? There's another aspect of help which it's important to understand, and that's when the Bible tells us that we can all find help in God. Every one of us at some point in our lives needs help which nobody else can give us. No friend, no parent, no spouse, no doctor, no government, no state assistance. That kind of help can only come from God. And the Bible tells us that God is that kind of person. He's actually that kind of place, in a sense, to which we may go in our time of need. The Bible tells us that when we are in that place, when we come to that place where we recognize that no one else can help us, let us come boldly to the throne of grace, where we may find mercy and help and grace in our time of need. Now that's a marvelous thought, isn't it, today? So when we think of help, let's think about helping others, and when we think of the help that no one else can give us, let's find that help in God, who alone can help us and who is there for us. And that's the thought for today.